but the SR Honda Motor Blues riders are wearing his shirt as well. Take a look at the Ram qualifying race highlights then from yesterday. And it was a muddy Ram qualifying race. We had non-stop rain pretty much all of Friday night, Thursday night, and most of yesterday. And don't forget, 48 points separating Andrea Adamo and Liam Everts coming into this qualifying race. But guess what? Adamo tucked in neatly to the inside, came out in around about 7th place as Camden McClellan led, but Liam Everts, he went down as Sasha Coonan fell in front of him. Those two collided. That was Thibaut Beneston going out of 3rd place, but it was Camden McClellan who led. Jago Geerts was in 2nd. This is Everts and Coonan picking themselves up, and that was 1 dent in the top of the championship table, and advantage Adamo at that stage. Camden McClellan led the way on the JM Honda. In 3rd position, Valerio Latta, riding as a wild card this weekend, he fell out of 3rd, but he did come home in an eventual 12th place. This was Isaac Gifting, headbanging his way through the advertising banners. Rick Elzinga moved up into 7th place. That was on lap 2. Kai de Wolf back from injury. He crashed out spectacularly from 14th, eventually came home in 18th, 19th place. Then Liam Everts fell again, charging his way through the field, trying to find his way past William Voxon Kleeman, and that would have been for 16th place, but he was still a long way off the points at that moment in time. Up front, though, Laengenfelder moved past Geerts into 2nd. Sasha Coonan fell again. He will go to the line in 27th place. And then Camden McClellan with a 16-second advantage with about 2 laps to go. Had a bit of a moment on the uphill, got hit in the body by the handlebars. It kind of KO'd him for a bit, but he is out on track and he will line up for the races today. But he fell short of wrapping up his first ever pole position with a Ram qualifying win. Laengenfelder then took over at the top, followed by Geerts, Lucas Coonan, Adamo and Hawkmo, all of those positions being promoted. But it was Laengenfelder for the 4th time who will line up on pole. Hopefully that sets the scene for what should be an exciting day here in Italy. Andrea Adamo now then lining up, not with a 48-point advantage over 2nd place, but 55 now over his teammate Liam Everts. Jago Geerts 25 points further back. And then we've got Laengenfelder just 4 behind the Belgian. Lucas Coonan is 5th in the championship. And then we have Rowan van der Moosdijk, Kevin Hawkmo, Kai de Wolf, Thibaut Beneston and Rick Elzinga. What an atmosphere, what an occasion here today. Simon Laengenfelder lines up on pole for the 4th time this season on his Red Bull GasGas. He'll be flanked by Jago Geerts on the Monster Energy Yamaha, Lucas Coonan, Nastan Husqvarna, Andrea Adamo, the championship leader on the Red Bull Kevin Hawkmo. Elzinga, Van der Moosdijk, Gifting, Weckman and Thibaut Beneston go next. And then we've got Jan Panzer, Valerio Latta, Camden McClellan, still classified 13th, even though he didn't cross the line because of how far he had lapped up. But Liam Everts, what can he do from gate 17? Is he going to be close to the box, just inside or outside of the box? I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. All eyes on the number 80, Andrea Adamo, one of the biggest races of his life, because he knows he can gain a couple more points to make his job that little bit easier in race 2, should things go his way. There is still 1 more round to go, don't forget. Simon Laengenfelder, solid yesterday in the Ram qualifying race, wrapping up his 4th pole position. Can he come away with a race win? Is he going to be free just to dance to his own tune because of what's happening in the championship chase ahead of him? Jago Geerts, cool and calm yesterday, sat in 2nd position until about 3 or 4 laps to go, and then eventually settled for 2nd place and 9 qualifying race points. But there's a battle on for 3rd in the championship between him and Laengenfelder. Lucas Coonan, Nastan Husqvarna, again solid in 3rd. He'll be hoping for another podium here this weekend, no doubt. And Liam Everts, what kind of task has he got? I was talking to Stefan Everts this morning. He said he was feeling better and looking better this morning, but he was a little bit stressed yesterday, just making a couple of mistakes, even in the time practice session, but looking better today in the warm-up session. Kevin Hawkmo, FNH Kawasaki, fresh off of his race win in Turkey and his first podium of the season, and he looked good yesterday in 5th. Are there more podiums before the end of the season for the Norwegian? And Isaac Gifting, an eventful qualifying race yesterday, eventually came home in 8th place. Right, there is Liam Everts. He's about 4 or 5 riders in from the inside of the box then. Alongside him, the number 12 of Jack Chambers on the Big Van World MTX Kawasaki. We'll get a green flag back left of your screen any moment now. That will indicate that we are ready to go. And then our race director, our FIM race director, will signal down this end, and he does. MX2 race 1, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. The Fly Racing 15-second board is up for the first time in Italy. Five-second board turns in, heads down, revs are up. Adamo over on this side of the gate. Liam Everts a little bit further over. Laengenfelder nice and tight to the inside. He's got Horgmo with him. It's an eventful first turn again, but Everts is upright, and so too is Adamo. In fact, they're pretty much line astern going into turn 2 in what, 4th, 5th position. Fans will be on their feet as well as Laengenfelder crosses the Fox Holeshot line ahead of everybody else for the 9th time. Top of the hill, Beniston in there. So too Jago Geerts. A tricky first downhill. Very sticky. A lot of ruts down there as well. Didn't use this part of the racetrack yesterday. We went straight across the bottom, but you can see conditions are a lot better now than they were. But it's Laengenfelder who leads. Thibaut Beniston second. Geerts third. Adamo 4. Everts in 5th place. Then Horgmo in green in 6th position. He's just found his way past Rick Elzinga in 7th. Then we've got Koenen, I think, in 8th place. Oh, the mistake there. Was that Geerts or Beniston? I think it might be Beniston. And he's going to have to try and rejoin where he can, and he does, but it's cost him an absolute eternity. Beniston out of second. Difficult to rejoin there in normal circumstances as well, because it's not easy to drop back onto that part of the racetrack, steeper than it looks on TV. Anyway, he emerges behind Horgmo, so he's going to be in, what, 6th place now. Oh, and he's down the inside of the Norwegian, picking up 5th. Tucks in behind Liam Everts. Everts needs to get his head down here and go after Adamo as well. But Thibaut Beniston, who's been out of action since his fall in Czech Republic a few rounds ago, he won't care about what's going on ahead of him. Opposite teams, opposing teams. And he'll just want to prove that he can win a race and win a Grand Prix again. Over the line for the first time then, Laengenfelder, Geerts, Adamo, Everts, Beniston in 5th. That's him behind the 72. Then Horgmo in 6th place, Elzinga 7, De Wolf 8, Van der Moosdijk 9, and then Lucas Koenen 10. Then we've got Valerio Latta, David Braceras, Federico Tuani, Camden McClellan. He's in 14th, ahead of Weckman, Sasha Koenen, Bassi, Panzer, Jabati, and De Sterk. Tiptoeing over the edge of Monster Energy Mountain. You can see how sticky those ruts are. Everts down the inside. Riding defensive. Adamo, heart pumping through his chest at the moment. Stays ahead of Liam Everts. In this scenario, the gap is out to 57 points with the opportunity to take the title in race 2. Very much possible. But here, a lap ago, watch what happens to Thibaut Beniston. He's under pressure at the moment from Horgmo. Watch it, he just gets out of the turn there, just gets cross-rutted off the side of the bank. Of course, look at the advertising hoarding there, there's no way through. And he did lose time and positions from second, re-emerging in 6th place. Horgmo sandwiched between the two Monster Energy Yamahas. Laengenfelder almost 3 seconds clear. As they drop downhill over the triple, Everts under pressure from Thibaut Beniston. He's not letting the Belgian off the hook at all. Tries to cut to the inside. Has another look across. Knows exactly where he is. Takes the lower line as they drop onto pit straight. The first official lap in the books then, from finish line to finish line. Laengenfelder, fastest lap on track, but there are 3 riders with him in the 1:55 zone. Beniston trying to outbrake Everts. Tries to get around the outside of him here as well. Everts riding a little bit tight. Adamo pulling away from him. And you would have expected the opposite, Adamo to be the tighter of the two, with the tension, the nerves, the pressure, the expectation from a nation. Geerts pulling clear of Adamo, as Beniston doing his best to find his way past Everts. Still a couple of different lines through there, up and over what I prefer to call O'Mara's. That jump there made famous by the American legend from the 1986 motocross Des Nations, if you like, if you're from my part of the world. What we had yesterday was a fast drying racetrack and just one line in some parts, like through here now. You want to go offline, you're either in mud or sticky situations. Oh, and Beniston throws it away again, out of 5th place. Back end just coming around on him, pushing too hard, possibly. Horgmo now up into 5th place. Then Elzinga. He loses about 5 or 6 positions there. Beniston down in 11th place. Here's Laengenfelder. The Red Bull GasGas. A 1:55.042 last time around, a 1:54.227 this time around, but it's Geerts with the fastest lap in the 53s, but he's still 2.3 seconds adrift. Fox Holeshot time then. Charging down the start straight. Laengenfelder squeezing everybody to the inside. He gets on the gas. And it's Laengenfelder for the 9th time this year. And he continues to build that lead. 2.3 seconds at the moment, despite Jago Geerts going a second quicker last time around. And Geerts quickest by another 10th in the first intermediate sector, which is from the finish line to the edge of the Monster Energy Mountain, dropping downhill. Sector 2 is the other side of O'Mara's. So over this left jump, bottom of the hill into the right-hander. That's sector 2 coming up any moment now. Laengenfelder responds at 22.8 compared to a 23.5. The gap back out to 2.9 as Adamo almost out the side door. The back end kicking wickedly on the Italian's KTM. Watch this here. Oh. And you're going uphill as well. Any further round, it would have just face planted him on his right shoulder. Still hangs on to 3rd place, though, does the Italian. Yeah, it falls another 3/10 on Laengenfelder in sector 3, but that gap's still bigger than it was when they hit the line a lap ago. It's out to 2.6 at the moment. But Andrea Adamo just knew a good start would be crucial. He's got that. Then he needs to ride cool, calm, collected. He's doing that at the moment. He also needs to be ahead of this guy, Liam Everts, and that box has also been ticked for now. Everts, though, can he start to respond? Because he's 3 seconds down on Adamo. Adamo's still about a 10th or so quicker than him, but he doesn't have Beniston breathing down his exhaust pipe. So he has a little bit of breathing space just to settle down and go, right, you know what? Take a deep breath. Let's see if I can put some pressure on Adamo, my teammate. Let's see if I can force him into making a small mistake here and there, make the pass, gain a couple points back, keep that championship alive. Tell you what, we could do with some bug spray, don't you think? Sun, late on in September, just causing 1 or 2 issues. Here's the two Nastan Husqvarnas, Roman Mostijk and Lucas Koenen. These two fighting over 8th place at the moment. The 39 of Van der Mostijk in that 8th place. Koenen 9, Braceras in 10th on the F&H Kawasaki. Koenen 3rd in the Ram qualifying race yesterday, and he gets the better of Van der Mostijk at the top of the hill, just round the back of the swimming pool. Moves up into 8th place. Kai de Wolf just ahead of him, number 74. De De Wolf fell from 14th yesterday. Not here, but out of this next right-hander. Just dropping downhill. He went off to the right-hand side here, just on the face of the triple. Picked himself up, ended up in 19th, but clean for De Wolf at the moment, in 7th position. Elzinga just ahead of him in 6th. What a racetrack, though. What a great atmosphere. And when it's sunny like this and better conditions as we had yesterday, better place to be on a September afternoon. Especially when there's a world title on the line and it's a home rider that is in the fight for that title. Lucas Koenen then, middle rider of this Nastan Husqvarna trio, moving himself up into 8th last time around. Van der Moosdijk 9, Braceras 10. Beneston still in 11th. He's almost 4 seconds adrift of the of the Kawasaki. Then we've got Latta, McClellan, Weckman, Panzer, Sasha Koenen, Jack Chambers, Federico Tuani. 31 of Francesco Bassi and Mattia Dusi. Braceras getting himself lined up for a move on Van der Moosdijk here. This would be for 9th place. Oriol Oliver struggling. He's only completed 1 lap at the moment, so maybe he was one of the riders that went down on the opening lap. Gifting up to 23rd, so obviously he had a bit of a nightmare first few laps as well. The VHR GasGas. Adamo has just set the fastest lap, though, working his way towards the end of this 5th lap. It was a 1:53.297, but only a 10th quicker than Laengenfelder and Geerts ahead of him. Maybe just taking a few laps just to get himself bedded in. And his gap between him and Everts now out to 4.5 seconds, so in a very good place mentally, Andrea Adamo. And the gap between him and Geerts now 1.2 as he goes half a second quicker than the Belgian. He's 57 points clear of Everts at the moment, will be 59 points clear if he finds his way past Jago Geerts. Means he will need to just score 1 point more than Everts in race 2 to be crowned world champion. Things looking very good for Adamo with 18 minutes plus 2 to go in this first MX2 race here in Italy. I was having a good conversation with former KTM technical director Dirk Grubel this morning as we were watching the MX2 warm-up session. We were talking about how Adamo coming into this weekend, how the fans can push you one way or the other. You use that as an energy, or it puts you under pressure. And he said, recalling something that happened in Trentino round 4 where he got his first Grand Prix victory, that all the fans cheering for him. He said, oh, that's just making me nervous and this. He said, yeah, but maybe use it as the other way. Use it as a positive energy. And that's exactly what he did. He brought it home with 2 second-place finishes to win the Grand Prix in his first MX2 Grand Prix as well. So it's been a journey throughout the whole of this 2023 season. Not expected to be in this fight for the championship, but that's exactly where he is with 2 rounds to go. Koenen. Oh, sorry, Kai De Wolf just off the side of the bike there. As Koenen closes in on him. Meanwhile, Adamo is all over the back of Geerts now. This is the fight for 2nd position. And 2 more vital World Championship points for the Italian if he can find his way past the Yamaha man. He gets to go around the outside. Listen to the atmosphere here in Maggiora. Tries to cut to the inside. Needs to be careful not to rush things. Unknown territory. All it'll take is a front-end slip. But he looks like he's ready now. Ready to fight. And ready to take this destiny into his own hands. The 93 will not make it easy for him, but the last couple of laps, Adamo has just ramped up his pace. Ah, nice little pre-jump there through that turn for Geerts. Taking off before the top. That's a nice line there. It's a safe line from Geerts. Getting out of that turn early, staying on the clean, dry dirt. No holes there either. Saw what happened to Adamo a couple of laps ago. Geerts responding at the moment. Things settling down. That's second and third over on the right-hand side. Fourth and fifth, Everts and Horgmo. So Everts under attack. And these dry conditions, you know, possibly not what Liam Everts would have wanted. He would have preferred the mud and the slop from yesterday, just to have a real shot of applying some pressure, because in those muddy conditions, yes, he fell on the first turn and made it difficult for himself. But when a rider falls in front of you, and obviously there's nothing you can do. And Adamo, right, has he made a mistake? Or was he just struggling for tear-offs? He's been off. He's been off because he's 8 seconds, oh no, 2.2. Watch this here. This must be the final downhill before pit lane. Oh, off the side of the track here, look. Oh, yeah, hand off the handlebar. That's what I mean. One of those moments, chest into the handlebar. Strike one for Adamo. How does he recover from that? Hand off the handlebar, chest onto the handlebars. Whoa, heart in the mouth there, and handlebars as well. And Everts will see that. He's getting closer. Unfortunately for him, he's dealing with the threat from Horgmo. So look, first, a little bit of drama then for Adamo. Beniston up in the 10th. He's found his way past Braceras. But you know what? When you land like that and your hand is forced off the handlebar as it was, you're in danger of really causing yourself a thumb injury at that moment, because you're not expecting it. And it all started because he jumped too far to the left, chasing too hard, got offline, landed in some soft stuff, and he was almost out the front door. He stayed on two wheels, but it has cost him a lot of time. And now he's under pressure from Everts. And this is the gift that he needs with 13 and a half to go. That has ruffled the feathers of Adamo. And he's gone from being in full attack mode to trying to preserve this advantage over Everts now. And Everts sees there is a pass on the cards here. He sees his teammate is in trouble. Going to have to dig deep now, Adamo. And regroup. Don't worry about Geerts. Just do your best to stay ahead of your teammate. Gain another couple of points in the championship. But we've got three riders fighting over third now. The 80 of Adamo, the 72 of Everts, the 24 of Horgmo. And it's gone quiet over there on the bank at the moment. A mistake on the exit of the turn. Adamo is on the ropes here. All of a sudden, putting himself under pressure. Reacts to where Everts is, goes to the outside. Tense moments, a tense period of the race this for the championship leader, as Horgmo tries to side his way up the inside of Everts. Everts looking for a way through. He also ran into trouble there on that bank. Front looked like it tucked as he was mid-turn there. Horgmo on the Geerts line, just a little bit cleaner. Right, has Adamo regrouped? Has he settled himself down? It's not in his nature, is it, just to settle? That Sicilian kind of fire inside. Minutes to go. Laengenfelder 7 seconds clear of Geerts. Adamo still weathering the storm behind him, keeping his teammate at bay. Horgmo ready to take a scalp here if he can. Wouldn't mind splitting the two Red Bull KTMs, Hogmo, if it means getting him to 4th position and with a shot of getting to 3rd with a move on Adamo late on in the race. But first, he's got to find his way past a very tenacious Liam Everts, who occupies that 4th place. Back marker ahead of Adamo. Looks up, sees him right there. Got himself a nice gap, but Everts on the charge, back downhill. The 183 of Jaka Pekalai, the 3rd member of the Slovenian team for the upcoming Motocross of Nations. In his 2nd MX2 appearance, he rode in Turkey a couple of weekends ago, the previous round. Normally rides in the 125 European Championship, so just gaining more experience riding at this level. Oh. Everts there, just back end, just kicked out. Is there enough time? Does Everts have anything else to go digging deeper to find his way past Adamo to get the points gap reduced? Nicely done, just picking his front end out of that hole, soaking it up. Nice technique. Looks for now as Adamo has recovered from his error down here about 3 laps ago. But is he carrying some small injury? And will he be carrying that injury into the second race? His lap times have stabilised. Same pace as Geerts ahead of him, who's almost 4 seconds clear in 2nd place. This was 2 laps ago. Watch, Adamo just runs too wide. Watch his left handlebar, off goes the hand. He hits the chest, that's what they thought as well. Heart in the mouth for Harry Norton down there. Putting himself under pressure, but he has responded to the threat from behind. Valerio Latta, he's moved up into 11th. He's moved past David Braceras as Beniston goes after Van der Moosdijk. But the gap between those two battling overnight, still around about 1.5 seconds or so. Oh, Everts not clean over there. Gifting is into the points in 20th place. De Wolf, Koenen, and Van der Moosdijk still occupying 7th, 8th, 9th positions. Thibaut Beniston joining them. So the Montrenazi Yamaha closing in on all 3, the Stan Husqvarnas, but he made that mistake early on as well. Lap 1 off the side of the track. Whilst in 2nd position, where was that, turn 9? Right, Koenen not getting over that little tabletop through the turn. Here's Elzinga under pressure now from Kai de Wolf. TV flattens everything out. Even that jump there in the background before they head up into that left. Falls away quite steeply, drops down and then up quite steeply as well into the next left-hander. Oh, Beniston has found his way past Van der Moosdijk then, moves up into 9th place. Goes after Lucas Koenen. Won his first ever MX2 race here. Did Thibaut Beniston. But then race 2 he fell in this corner here, ended up finishing in 14th. Adamo's broken free once again, leaving Everts to fend for himself. Hogmo just trying to show a wheel to the 72. Oh, 2 Husqvarnas having a go at each other there. That would have been De Wolf and Koenen. Did Koenen go through? Yes, he did. At the top of the hill, through that horseshoe. Chucked it down the inside of De Wolf. And moves up a position into 7th place. So the part of the track that we weren't doing yesterday, uphill into that left, just below the building. Lucas Koenen charging up the inside of De Wolf, picking him off, and now he goes after Rick Elzinga. And it'll be a fresh pair of eyes on the 44 as well, because Kai De Wolf been sat behind him for a few laps. Listen to the crowd cheering for Adamo, though, in 3rd place. Oh, Evans under pressure from Hawkmo. Meanwhile, Koenen at the first strike, down the inside of Elzinga, and picks him off and moves up into 6th place at the end of lap 12. So Koenen over the line then in 6th place. Finding his way past both Elzinga and De Wolf that time around. Thibaut Beneston right there, the 198 looking to go around De Wolf, who's getting stuck behind Elzinga. Van der Moosdijk has joined the party as well. .408, Scott Smulders just moving over the way there. Wildcard this weekend for the JM Honda riders. This corner a lap ago is where Koenen forces his way up the inside of the 74. Here's how he did it. You have to pay attention. Look, there you go. He gets up the inside of thinking he was going to go defensive, and then on the exit, that was Koenen finding his way past. And then this is how he did Elzinga as well. On the same lap, cut to the inside a couple of lines before the finish, a couple of turns before the finish. Good lap that from Lucas Koenen. Right, Benny, all over the back of De Wolf. Back end just misbehaving there. Back marker just trying to stay out of the trouble. Stay out of the way. Oh, neatly done from Thibaut Beneston. Stayed so much lower than Kai De Wolf. That's normally a trick used by De Wolf. In fact, didn't he pass Beneston in Latvia in that exactly same way? Scrubs and whips. So Beneston moving up into 8th place. Three minutes to go, plus 2 laps. Laengenfelder continues to lead, 9 seconds clear of Geerts, who's 2.2 clear of Adamo. Adamo really bridging the gap again since he's refound his rhythm. Everts just not being able to go forward. And Hawkmo still applying the pressure from behind in 5th. Then we've got Koenen, Elzinga, Beneston 8th now, De Wolf 9. Van der Moosdijk 10, Ladra 11, McClellan and Panzer have found their way past Braceras, who drops to 14th now. Hawkmo fighting that F&H Kawasaki at the bottom of the hill. Nice little pre-jump there. Yeah, most riders now going middle to right on that uphill, offering a little bit more traction coming out of the turn, a little bit safety as well. Right, Beneston, if he's close enough to his teammate Elzinga this time around, coming out of not this left but the next right where he found his way past De Wolf. Will there be a pass? Looks like he's getting closer just behind these two. If we just pan back round. Tell you what, De Wolf had a go at Beneston there in the tight right before that sweep round. Beneston going to the outside, De Wolf going to the inside, but it was Beneston who just got the better drive a moment ago. Minute 11 to go for Everts. Laengenfelder already 15 seconds over the line though, so it's going to be 3 laps to go because lap times are 1:57s for the race leader. Koenen in the 53s that time around, his best lap. But Laengenfelder in cruise mode at the moment as he goes in search of race win number 7 for the season. Uphill into turn 4. Frustrating race this for Liam Everts. And that was all created after a difficult time practice in muddy conditions. He fell, the handlebars were all dirty, continued to do his lap and didn't come in and change things and settle himself down, his dad was saying. And then, of course, the qualifying race, the first turn, Sasha Coonan just slipped in front of him. Both riders went down as Beniston hard on the brakes, trying to go the long way round of his teammate Rick Elzinga, and De Wolf still pushing. If he leaves the door open in a few corners from now, De Wolf will be back by him on the same part of the track that he found his way past the Dutchman. Beniston will be frustrated as well because he started second, went off the track on the opening lap. We'll see that in the highlights, of course. But dropping down to 6 and then falling again, coming out of this turn later on in the race. An eventful one so far for the 198, former 125, 250 European champion. Can he scrub his way? Yes, he does! Almost takes his teammate out in the process, though. But that's where he worked his magic on De Wolf, and that's exactly what he does to his teammate Elzinga as he moves up into 7th place. Two-lap board out for our race leader, Laengenfelder, but all kinds of shenanigans going on between the two Monster Energy Yamahas, Toon and Astana Husqvarnas. 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Here's Adamo, 3 seconds behind Jago Geerts, coming out of turn 3, heading uphill for the penultimate time. Recovered well from that scare mid-race. But Laengenfelder has been cool as you like. Picked up his 4th ramp qualifying race win yesterday. And he's on course for what will be race win number 7 for the season. Lap and a bit to go. Doesn't mind the mud, doesn't mind the hard pack either. Ah, Coonan all over the place coming out of that turn as Horgmo tries to get around the outside of Everts. There were 3 riders fighting for that 4th place a moment ago. Coonan just losing time coming out of that bottom turn. And Everts somehow gets himself a bit of breathing space here. Watch this here. Coonan trying to go down the inside of Horgmo. And he was trying to get even tighter because Horgmo was coming across on him for that smoother line on the uphill. A let-off there for Horgmo. Another let-off for Everts as well. Into the final lap, though. Simon Laengenfelder, Red Bull GasGas Factory Racing, has controlled this race from the very first turn. He's led every one of the 16 laps he's completed so far. Jago Geerts, 8.5 seconds behind him. Just here, bottom of your screen, number 93. And the gap between him and Adamo now, a stable 3.8 seconds as he heads into the final lap. But crucially for Adamo, he's got about 3.7 over his teammate Liam Everts. Just needs to bring it home to gain another couple more points. Whoa. Fight in the front end downhill. Wonder if he's just being a little bit tentative after what happened in France down that hill there, Jago Geerts. Maybe not, but you never know. .31, Francesco Bassi just getting lapped there. One of the Italian wildcard riders. Meanwhile, Elzinga under pressure again from De Wolf. These two still fighting over 8th place. And a Mostike just behind them. Another back marker there. Just keeping out of the way as best he can. Alessandro Valeri has ridden a couple of wildcard rounds this year. 18th overall, actually, in Sweden. as the more established guys come through. But down to home straight for the final time. Simon Laengenfelder will round out the final turn. He hits the Monster Energy finish line. Laengenfelder wins race 1 and takes his 7th win of the season. A comfortable victory in the end, 6.6 seconds clear of Geerts, but there's nothing cruisy about the run down to the finish line here. Just going down past pit lane, Koonen and Horgmo. Koonen was up in the 5th place, and he took it as well, just as we cut to Adamo. Dropping down the final hill, Koonen and Horgmo were side by side, but it was Koonen who found his way into 5th, Horgmo 6th, Beniston 7, Elzinga, De Wolf and Van der Moosdijk. So Laengenfelder then a comfortable winner, 6.6 seconds clear. And of course, he is going for 3rd in the championship. Started the day 4 points. So Laengenfelder started the day 4 points behind Jago Geerts. He'll pull 3 of those back. Going to be 1 point between those two as they head into race 2. Good job for Simon Laengenfelder. And here he is with Simon. Here is Simon Laengenfelder with Lisa Leyland.
Simon Laengenfelder, great job out there. You're pretty much in cruise mode, kept a cool head, have a comfortable race win to pick up the 7th race victory of the season.
Yeah, I got lucky. I had a good start, and then I made my life a little bit easier. But still, when you're first, you don't have anyone to look behind where he's going or what lines he's taking. So I tried some lines, but I think I found quite good lines and had a good speed, so I could make a gap and win my first moto here.
Good luck for the 2nd race.
Thank you.
Good job, Simon Laengenfelder. We'll talk to him in a moment as well. Well, we'll see him with the black plate because he grabbed the Fox Holeshot as well for the night time this year. Start to finish win for the Red Bull GasGas rider. 7 wins for the season now for the German. He edges closer to 3rd overall in the championship. Just 1 point now behind Jago Geerts. So MX2 race 1 out of the way. Take a look at the highlights of the race, shall we? As these guys and girls and kids take their positions ahead of MXGP race 1. MX2 race 1 then over gate 4 on the right hand side. Gate 3, Simon Laengenfelder. Adamo gets squeezed to the inside. Everts come out just behind his main championship rival. Thought there was going to be some fireworks between those two, but Adamo managed to stay ahead of Everts for the entire race. The 2 Yamahas though, Beniston and Geerts, getting themselves into 2nd and 3rd. Beniston in the white boots, top of the hill, but watch what happens here. He just messes up this bottom corner, goes off track, and he can't rejoin the race anywhere other than the top of the hill, but he lost positions. He re-emerged in 6th place, and then on his way back through, he fell again, down from 5th to 11th. Lucas Koonen got the better of his teammate, Van der Moosdijk. That put him up into 8th position, and then Adamo started to close in on Jago Geerts as he fought over 2nd place. He'd started to break free from his teammate. Then he had this moment here, chest on the handlebars and hand off the grip as well. That would have been a painful wrist stroke thumb injury. Lucas Koonen got the better of his teammate, Kai De Wolf, and then on the same lap, up the inside of Elzinga. 2 positions in 1 lap. And then Beniston down the inside of De Wolf to move into 8th. That was on lap 13, and watch how close it was here between him and Elzinga as he made the same pass. Somehow they avoided contact, but that was for 7th. But it was Laengenfelder who cruised to victory in race 1 from Geerts, Adamo, Everts and Koonen, who moved into 5th past Horgmo on the final lap. Give you the results then, shall we? So Laengenfelder then with his 7th race win of the season on the Red Bull GasGas, edging out Jago Geerts and champion-elect Andrea Adamo if things go well in race 2. Everts 4th, Lucas Kuhnen 5th, Kevin Horgmo 6th, Beniston 7th, and Rick Elzinga 8th. Then it was 9th place for Kai de Wolf and then Rowan van der Moosdijk. Then we had Jan Pansar, Valerio Latta, Camden McClellan, David Braceras faded to 14th, ahead of Sasha Kuhnen. And then we had Emil Weckman, Isaac Gifting, Alessandro Manucci, Jack Chambers, and Federico Tuani. Fox Holeshot. Let's take a look, shall we? Right at the start of the race. No mistaking that. Simon Laengenfelder on 9 now. Jago Geerts on 7. Liam Everts on 3, along with Kevin Horgmo, Andrea Adamo, Lucas Kuhnen, Rowan van der Moosdijk is 2. And then we've got, what, 5 riders with 1. Osterhagen, Elzinga, Kuhnen, Beniston and Oriol Oliver. Right, before we take a break, briefly, for a couple of minutes, let's take a look at some of the best moments, shall we? Right, join us in about 2 minutes' time, 3 minutes' time when we return for MXGP Race 1.